liner that'll match as to what you're trying to do, right? That's right. And then you'll just clean it off and use it again or do whatever you want. But it works. It works. It works. It works. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie if you don't know me. Today's video is kind of just a sit down, get ready type of video. I was just sitting around and I felt really inspired. I've been following these girls on Instagram that I felt really inspired by. So I wanted to create a look. Not necessarily a look that they've done, but just kind of like a technique that they've done. There's 3 different ones that I really feel inspired by today. Like I said, I was just kind of browsing on my Instagram and one of them, her name is Giovanna, and she has a YouTube channel and of course an Instagram account. Her looks are so cool. She has like these really cool graphic liner looks. I really like her looks, and so I kind of felt inspired by her. Also, my face makeup and how I've been doing it. I've been watching Katie Jane Hughes for a while now. She is a celebrity makeup artist and she also is an editorial makeup artist. I really like the way that she does her face makeup. Been really inspired by her as well. And then also, I'm probably gonna butcher her name. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. Naezrah, I think is how you say her name. But her Instagram name is called Naezrah Looks. She has such pretty looks. She has a lot of like editorial looks as well and like avant-garde looks. I've posted many times before her looks on my Instagram stories, but this one right here is just so pretty. If you guys see that, she is so talented and she has such beautiful looks. And then let me pull up Giovanna. Her name on Instagram is glamgeo_NYC, and she does like these really pretty looks. If you guys see that, they're just so pretty. You guys can see that one too. Like her graphic line work and her eye looks are just so pretty. Really inspired by her. And then we have Katie Jane Hughes that I just talked about a little bit ago, but that is her right there. She does like these really pretty looks as well. Even her eye looks are so pretty. There's that one there. She does a lot of her face stuff on Instagram stories, so I've been following her there. And she does this thing called KJH Academy where she does a look on stories, then you try to recreate it, and then she picks pictures from the ones that submit to the hashtag, and she'll pick a look from there and then she'll post them after hers. So like this one was one of the ones that she did, and then like she put the other people that recreated it. Of course not everybody gets picked, but she picks the ones that she likes and she posts them afterwards. So just thought that was really cool, and I do really love the way that she does her face makeup. Today's video is kind of inspired by them. I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and get started. So I was just sitting on my couch and started following a few people on Instagram that I've been inspired by. So hence me sitting here doing a tutorial because I haven't done one in a long time. And so I just wanted to come and sit with you guys and do some makeup. I have changed the way that I do my makeup. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys how I do it. I guess it's not really like that you have to do it this way or this way is better. Whatever works for you, you do you. This is just the way that it's been working out for me, and I feel like it looks a lot better for my skin type. So I just wanted to show you guys, and maybe you guys learned something. I don't know. I just wanted to show you guys how I've been doing my makeup lately. I've done already my skincare. The only stuff that I usually put in the morning is a vitamin C, and now that it's warmer, using a SPF. Let me show you guys real quick. I've been using this. This is the Camo Cc Vitamin C Glow Serum from Desi's Skin. If you guys know Desi Perkins, she is a influencer. She's so much more than that. I've been following her for a long time, so I was excited when she came out with her own skincare line. So that is what I'm using here. This is the first product that she has in her skincare line. She hasn't come out with anything else yet, but I'm super excited. This is a little bit on the pricier side, but definitely worth it. I feel like it's actually made my skin glowy and it feels good. Honestly, it really does feel good. Could use it at night or during the day, but I do use it during the day, so that's what I've been using. And then this is just the sunscreen that I've been using as well. This is from Drunk Elephant. This is the Umbra Sheer Physical Daily Defense Broad Spectrum SPF, and this is just an SPF 30. It is very nice. I like that it doesn't leave like that white cast over, and that is what I have for my skincare. I haven't put anything else on my face for foundation or anything like that, or to prep the skin for foundation, but we'll get into that here shortly. So I'm just gonna start with my brows. It's so tiny. It's from the Brow Bar, which came in this little thing here. I got this from BoxyCharm, and actually the only thing that I've been using the most out of this thing is this little pencil that came in there. That's pretty much what I've been using from it. I haven't used the powders or anything, but I have been using the pencil. I do like it. It feels a little bit waxy, but it works because I'm going for more of a natural brow, I guess you can say. But that's what I've been doing, and I do touch up a little bit with the Anastasia pomade, not as much, just a little bit, and then clean up with concealer underneath the brow just to not carve it out, but just clean it up a little bit. So I do brush all my hair brows up, and I start here. Kind of just follow the natural line of my brows. And I don't put as much pressure here, put a little bit more pressure towards the end. And then here I start the brow right here, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of this part, but first I start here and then go out and down and fill in that part there with the pencil, and then do a little bit more here. Putting most of the pressure here at the end because that's where I want it to be the darkest. Go in with my brush here, brush it out, pull those hairs up for, like I said, more of a natural kind of look. And then here I kind of go in lightly with my pencil, very lightly, just giving the hairs there a little bit of a barely there kind of look, kind of like that. And then I just go in with a brow gel to make sure that those hairs stay up. This is the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. I'm gonna let that one sit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and clean it up with you guys while I go off camera and do this one. So we are back. As you guys can see, I've already cleaned this one up a little bit. It didn't turn out as natural as I wanted it. It is what it is. I'm just gonna keep going here. I'm going to start doing this one, and instead of some concealer here in the back of my hand and this brush here that looks like this, and I'm going to clean out this one. Just going with a little sponge here to blend that concealer out so it doesn't stay like crazy harsh on there. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my pomade here to make it look a little bit more similar to this one. I just grab a tiny bit, I barely even tap in there. I'm gonna make this one here a little bit thicker on this side. Kind of like that, so it matches more. A little bit more concealer here, make it match more on this side, and do the same thing. I think they look pretty close. Now that we have the eyebrows on, we're gonna go move on to the face real quick. So we're gonna go in and prep a little bit for it. So I'm gonna grab this from First Aid Beauty. This is the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that on. I don't know why it says that it's coconut, because I can't really smell the coconut. Maybe a little bit, but not really. I like that little pretty sheen it gives to the skin though. It looks really hydrated. I've only used this like a couple of times, and so far I do like it. You guys can see it gives you that pretty little glow. And then the other day I kind of did something weird. I don't know if this is too much, but we're gonna try it out and see how it works out. I went in with a little bit of the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. This is in the shade Citrine, and I just grabbed a little bit of that and put it on my hand here. And then I'm gonna go in with a brush that is not so dense. You usually wouldn't use for a foundation, something like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab it with that and then just start putting it on the face, more into like a circular motion so you don't see like the brush strokes. Kind of just placing it. I'm not using a lot of foundation, obviously. Kind of just going in a little bit with it. You guys can see it's already looking better. I know this kind of seems like a lot, but I'm actually not putting a lot of foundation on. I barely grabbed any, and this is the kind of brush that I used, like a more fluffy brush, something that you normally wouldn't use for a foundation. But one of the people that I was talking about that I have been following on Instagram, Katie Jane Hughes, she is a celebrity makeup artist and a editorial makeup artist, so I've been following like her foundation on IG stories sometimes, and they just look so flawless. Her skin looks so pretty, and I really love how she does her makeup. So she's one of the people that I've been following. She's the one that, with this skin thing that I'm doing right now, this foundation routine, is the one that inspired this more than any of the people that I've been following on there. Also, Giovanna is her actual name. She has a YouTube channel. This is another girl, Giovanna. She does these really pretty graphic liner looks. She does some just really pretty eyeshadow looks that I love to see. They're just so pretty, and go check them out. They have some really pretty looks. The first one that I talked about, Katie Jane Hughes, she's a makeup artist, so she knows what she's doing, you know. And then Giovanna, Glam Geo, I think is her name on Instagram. And she does some really pretty graphic liner looks, and they are just so pretty. And her skin looks just so pretty too. I haven't seen like how she does her skin or anything, but her eye looks are really pretty, very inspiring. You guys can see it's kind of more like just to even everything out. I'm not like trying to do anything extra with this, so I kind of just covered everything here. Super easy. And then I'm gonna use this Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand. At first I thought it was a concealer, but it is more illuminating. I would never put that under my eye to make illuminated under there. To me it seems kind of weird to put it under there, but I did put it on my face the other day, like so. And then I went in with a sponge, and I didn't really wet my sponge. It's more like damp than anything. Just sprayed it a little bit with some spray. That's what I did last time too. And then I just went in and blended that into the face, and it's gonna give you this really pretty glow. You guys can see it looks so pretty, and it's like kind of like a glow within. It's not like bam in your face highlighter kind of thing, but I loved how it looked, so I really wanted to do that. Gives you like a very pretty glow. I went in with a little bit of CC cream, but it feels like it's a foundation. It's the e.l.f. Camo Cc Cream, and my shade is medium 310. And then again, very little, not a lot of product. I'm gonna grab it again with that brush, and I'm kind of like grabbing the minimum, like barely even touching my brush on it. And I'm gonna put it over it a little bit to give me the look that I want. Just a little bit more coverage, and I'm not like adding too much to it. I'm adding it to this side as well. It would be weird if I did one side and not the other, right? Now that we have that down and it's looking nice, I want to try to avoid any brush strokes, so I'm just gonna go in with a sponge real quick and kind of just tap over everything so it doesn't look like you have brush strokes anywhere. You guys can see how pretty that skin glow is. These two foundations are actually some of my favorite ones at the moment that I've been using a lot. That Tarte Glow Wand is actually really nice. The glow that it gives to the skin, you guys see that? Really pretty. I am gonna go in with a little bit of powder because I don't want it to look too oily, because that happens sometimes. So I'm gonna go in with the Dermablend loose setting powder. This one's just translucent. I don't know that they have another one, to be honest with you. So that's the one that I'm using, and I barely even grab any. I don't like a lot of powder on my face. You guys see that? You can barely even see the powder in there. But I kind of just go in, at the eye mostly, under the eye a little bit, just with whatever I had on my brush. I'm not putting any excess powder. You can still see the dewiness on the skin, so I'm kind of just dabbing over it. I'm not really putting too much powder on. If you decide that you need more powder later on, you can definitely do that, especially if you have like oily skin. You probably do need to add more powder than I do, but I don't add too much powder. That is the foundation part, and I don't do my foundation like this every day. This is just something that when I really want to make it look nice and flawless is what I do, but I don't do this on an everyday basis. So now that we have that, I'm gonna go in with some more cream products on my face. First off, I'm gonna grab this from Huda Beauty. This is their Tantor, and I'm in the shade medium, and I just grab my brush. It's like a slanted brush like this. It just helps that shape there, so that's why I like to use this one for that. This is Ferra brush. I'm just gonna go in here, tap a little bit on, just a little bit because you can see it's really dark. And then I'll do the same thing on this other side. And then I just start kind of blending it up here. I'm barely even touching my forehead, but kind of just work it into that hairline there, pushing it back. And then we'll go back here and blend out what we have here. See, it's so pretty. And it blends out so nicely and even. And then I just kind of tap over it. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And then I think gives it that little extra oomph. I have this from Tower 28. This is an illuminating bronzer, so it kind of has a sheen to it. I don't grab a lot of it. Just kind of go like that, and then whatever is on the brush, kind of put it over it a little bit, just to give me that extra sheen, that extra glam. It's so pretty. And I do the same thing here. And I'm pulling it up from the bronzer, not down, or else it's gonna drag down your face more. That's why I like to drag it up. And now for my favorite part of the face, the blush. Yay! So for the blush part, I'm going to be mixing two in. I'm going to mix this one from Tower 28 in the shade Rush Hour. And it looks like this. It's really pretty and it's an orangey one. And then I'm also going to be using this pinky one from Hank and Henry. And it looks like this. It's really pretty. So I just grab a little bit of that pinky shade first and put it close to where my bronzer is. Lightly handed, you don't have to like stamp it on there. I do bring it all the way up and then around my eye here. Same thing on this side. Now that I have that pink shade there, I do grab a little bit of the orangey one on the same brush and I go over top of the pink. I know it looks crazy right now, but it does mellow out. I do place it sometimes here, like on the eye part too. I go a little bit here. We're gonna go in and do something here after this so your face doesn't look completely insane. Now that you've placed that, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. I'm using the e.l.f. 60-hour Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Neutral, and I'm just gonna put it here at the back of my hand. And then I'm gonna grab a brush, and I'm just gonna grab a tiny bit. You guys see kind of what I'm grabbing here. And I'm gonna go around the eyes here, kind of mixing it in with that blush that's here, so it pulls it back a little bit, but it's not a lot that I'm using. Same thing here with the center of my face, and I'm still using the same concealer. I haven't grabbed any extra. Then I go on the bottom here to clean that out a bit, putting most of the concealer over here and then blending it outwards. You kind of still have that blush there, but it's not super crazy. Around the face here, and then I do pull it up here a little bit on the nose. I do leave the tip of the nose a little bit with the blush, and then here, just place a little bit there. And now I'm just kind of cleaning it up here. It doesn't look too crazy. Now I'm gonna go with the same sponge, and I'm kind of just gonna roll it on my face to take some of that excess out. I'm not like doing too hard on it, kind of just rolling it on there. So if I do have any excess, I can take it off. We don't want it to look extra shiny. Blend out that concealer. Then if you guys remember that brush that I used to put the powder on, grab just a little bit from there like this. I go like this, and then I kind of just put it around my face. I don't want to take that nice sheen that we have on the cheeks out. We want some sheen and also that like healthy glow. You can leave it like this and leave it as that natural glow, or you can add highlight if you want. And I'm gonna add just a little bit, nothing major. I'm gonna go with this e.l.f. one here. This is in the shade White Peach, so it has a blush and a highlighter. I'm gonna go in with the highlighter, grab just a tiny bit and just put a little bit of that in the high points of my face. And I add it to my nose and a little bit here, here, and here. But that's it for the face. I know it seems like a lot of steps, but I like that glow that it gives me. I like cream products a lot lately. My skin is so dry. I know you can tell that I have foundation on and stuff like that. It just looks so much healthier than when I use powder products. So I like that. And so that's how I've been doing my face makeup lately. Now we're gonna move on to the eyes. The eyes. Let's do like a two-tone look. I don't know how it's gonna look, but we can try it out. Kind of just going for it. I'm thinking of using this palette. This is from Huda Beauty. This is the Mercury Retrograde palette. One side of my eyes will be one color, the other side will be a different color. So let's just try to do that and see how it comes out. I'm gonna use this shade right here. And using just a fluffy brush, I'm gonna grab that shade and I'm gonna just work it in here. I don't think I'm gonna put any primer today. I put a lot of product on it, so it should be able to stick very good. I'm kind of just putting that above my crease and just building it up here. It builds up really nicely, very bright, which I am okay with. It looks really pretty. Okay. I'm gonna clean this off a little bit and I'm gonna try to blend this shade out just a little bit more with no extra product in it. Like that. Yes. I am going to cut the crease. I'm gonna grab some concealer. You can use whatever. You can use even your primer. I sometimes use the Anastasia Beverly Hills primer to cut my crease. If you want to do that, that works too. But I'm just gonna do it with concealer. It does need a little bit more. A little bit more. I am going to mix these two together, this one and this one, to put on that lid. And I'm just gonna put it with my finger. I am gonna grab another brush, try to bring it closer to that line there, so it's not so far off. I kind of wish there was more of a contrast between that shade on my lid. Not too happy with it. Maybe we can do like a little liner. Maybe. We'll do the other eye first and then we'll see if it can do like a little wing or something. On this side, I'm going to do this color here called Hot Mess. Do the same with this one. Now we're going to do the same thing and just cut the crease. So now that we've cut the crease on this side, I'm going to mix in the same glitter there with this pink one right here. So I think I want this one just a little bit brighter. I'm going to go in with my Mild Cosmetics palette. This is the Muerte palette. And I'm going to go in with this shade right here and see if that makes it just a little bit brighter. Because that first shade wasn't giving me the brightest color that I want it to be. Hopefully it'll work out better. I think this one might work out a little bit better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. Yep, that's definitely what I wanted, just a little bit brighter. And now I'm going to create a liner out of the colors that I use. So there's a like pinky shade. I'm going to use the eyeshadow that I used to make that into an eyeliner. I'm going to use this color here to create a liner for this side. So what I do to do that is scrape a little bit of that shade out. So this one right here, I'm going to scrape it with this. So it looks like this, like there's powder right there. Oh, I don't want it to fall. I also do want to show you guys. You guys see that right there? Looks like it's been scraped. And I'm going to put it in this little tin thing. And then you can mix it in with water. Just make sure you're not putting too much water or it's going to be too watery. Depending on what you're looking for, how much you want your stuff to glide, that's how much you'll put. So right now I'm just starting with one spray, just a tiny bit. Then I'm going to go in with my brush. And you can definitely make it more watery. This is the consistency that I have for mine. You can definitely add more water, like I said, depending on what you're looking for and how you like your eyeliner to be. That's how much water you'll add. I'm gonna go in here real quickly and just do the liner part. And I'm gonna do it on this side because it'll match this side. Just like that. And I am gonna bring it down to the lower lash line here. Whatever is left, I didn't pick any extra, just to give it a little bit more of a shape to the lower lash line and to connect it to that outer corner there. So like that. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Of course, I cleaned off my little spatula thing and my brush. And I'll also clean off my tint thingy. This is just the top of the color switch thing that I have. You can use whatever works for you. Now that I have that clean, I can use it again for a different shade, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna scrape a little bit of that color and toss it in my little tint thing. And that's how much I have, just a little bit. And I'm gonna add water. Like I said, you add as much as you think you need. I'm mixing it in. Of course, if you have the colors already of these in like a liquid formula, you could definitely do that too, but I don't have like these shades of eyeliners, so that's why I'm making my own. And now I'm just gonna do the same thing. And if that happens, it's okay, we can go back and clean it up. It's not a big deal. I always make mistakes. It does not have to be perfect whatsoever. I'm going to fix that actually. Just gonna grab a little bit of concealer and then we'll fix that line right up. You guys see that? With a little bit of concealer, it fixed it up. It is not a big deal. There you have it, guys. Super easy. That's another way that you guys can create eyeliners if you guys don't have a shade that you want and you have an eyeshadow that looks similar to the color that you want. You can do this. It's so much easier than trying to buy a liner that'll match as to what you're trying to do, right? That's right. And then you'll just clean it off and use it again or do whatever you want. But it works. It works. It works. It works. We are going to do a little bit of inner corner here. I am going to go in with this shade right here and do both inner corners. I'm just going to use my finger. It's just easy. Go in this one and go in this one to make it match a little bit just in the inner corner like that. Now I'm going to go in with mascara. I've been liking just doing a lot of mascara and just leaving it that way instead of using lashes. I do like using lashes, but you guys will see. I do put like, I don't know, maybe 3 coats or something like that to really make the lashes stand out. I feel like my lashes are starting to grow out a little bit because these ones are usually shorter than these ones here. So I'm excited about that, and that is another reason why I haven't been using lashes that much. I go in and try to coat them really good. By the way, I am using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. You guys can see I'm really trying to go in there and coat them, but I don't want them to look like biters either. So you guys see how pretty they look. I'm so excited. If you ever do that where like you get mascara on your face, you just let it dry, and then I go in with like my brush for my eyebrows and stuff, you know, like the spoolie side, and then I kind of just rub it a little bit and it comes off. Also, I haven't been putting a lot of anything in my waterline lately too. I don't know why, but I just like the look of it. But yeah, there is the mascara. And I love that it looks like my eye looks open. I don't know, I'm weird, but that's that eye. I'm gonna go off camera, do the other eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back. I'm gonna do the lips. I'm gonna do this little combo here. Since we have a little bit going on the eyes, I'm going to keep it more nude on the lips. I'm using this one from Sephora. This is their Rouge Gel Lip Liner, and this one is in the shade Hot Sauce. I'm gonna lip line with that a little bit. I am bringing it in onto the lips as well. And you guys can see I overlined just a little bit. And at the top here. If you guys haven't tried Sephora lip liners before, definitely do. They're so creamy, they're so nice. They have a really good formula. Now that the lips are lined, I'm gonna go with this liquid lip from Jaclyn Cosmetics. This one's in the shade Get Real. And these liquid lipsticks actually have a very creamy finish. They don't set in all the way, which is what I like. I don't like some of the really drying ones, so I really enjoy this one. And I'm kind of just putting it in the center, putting it in with my finger. I just added a tiny bit more in the center there. Give it kind of like that ombre look to it. And then I'm gonna go and put a little bit of gloss over top of it. I'm gonna use this lip gloss here. This is the Morphe lip gloss in the shade Pop. Kind of just dabbing it in. I'm not looking for too much, just a little extra shine to the lips so they don't look dry. that is it for the look, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I haven't done a sit down like tutorial kind of video in a very long time, so I kind of just felt a little bit inspired, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys in the next one. Toodles!